Dear Federation representatives, dear spokes, let me briefly present you how you can carry out the electronic voting via the website and how you can carry out the electronic elections remotely from your office. We have been thinking in the past how we could make it happen that also not in present participating Federation members could carry out electronically the eVoting and eElections, as we name it. In the past, maybe you can remember that during the COVID time, we allowed a kind of provisional remote voting that has been carried out via sending emails to the General Secretary of FIPS-Mouche. This was, of course, not a secret voting system, but anyway, it was a kind of workaround how we could get the mandate to take some action also during the time when we were not able to meet in person. So we have decided to incorporate this functionality of e-voting and e-elections into the website. So what you need to do, of course, same as when you are going to register for the championship, you need first to log into the website, because this functionality is only available to the SPOC of the Federation members. So first let me log in to the website under the test account I'm using for this test purpose. All right. That's what you will see when you will log into the website. On the left-hand side, in the vertical menu, you will see the list of the items, and the last in the list is the item called Elections and Voting. When you click on that, you will see the header of the Congress with all key data or information related to the Congress, in which country, which city or town, which time period, and when the General Assembly of FIPS-Mouche is going to be held. Also, you can see the time period when the electronic elections or e-voting is to be carried out. And now when you scroll down a little bit to see the entire election ballot, you will see that the ballot is consisting on 3 parts. Now we are active in the first tab that is dedicated to the elections. How you can recognize it where you are currently in. You can see here in this header for the ballot 3 labels of the tabs, and the one that is active is being shown in the bold font. The rest that are still ahead are less visible. So all the time when you move forward, the next step will be highlighted. Great. So you can see here in the elections ballot that you have here listed the positions. The first 4 are related to the FIPS-Mouche board. Then we have 3 candidates for the technical commission and some candidates for the 6 commissions, for the Athletes Commission, Equality and the Youth Commission. On the right hand side we have a standard structure of the possible answers, which is in favor, or approved, against, or abstention. For each of the item, you can select only one of these options, as this is as radio button allowing only one alternative to be ticked. Good. So let's simulate that I'm going to carry out the concrete elections. So please don't take this as my intention or preference of the voting. This is just for the testing purposes. In order you can see that we can have a lot of in order you can see that we have here all possible options selected. As soon as the last one has been ticked, you can click on Go to Rules, which will navigate you to the second tab dedicated to the competition rules. So clicking on Go to Rules, you will be switched to the middle step of the three tabs dedicated for the ballot. This one is for competition rule changes. As you can see here, it is quite a long list of items available, and in the first column you can see the items to be named using such kind of naming convention. Okay, so the first, I would say, the prefix is the abbreviation standing for BCR, is Board Competition Rule Change, right? So this is the change that is being submitted or proposed by the board. If the prefix is an abbreviation of the country, it means that this is actually the motion number 1 from the set of motion package number 1 that has been submitted by the Czech Federation. Or for example here, this is the first motion of the package number 2 that has been sent by the Slovakian Federation. Right, and in the middle column, you can see the short description of the change, and on the right hand side you can see again standard options to be selected. The first item is the only one exception in comparison to all the others, because this is actually the item that is combining two parallel alternatives. The first one is the board competition rule change number 1 and also the French motion number 3. These are two alternatives you need to select from. Either you will be voting in favor of the FIPS-Mouche board proposal, in that case you will tick here the board option, or you will be voting for the French motion concerning this item. In that case you will tick the second option. Of course, if you do not want to vote on this item because you are not convinced about it, you can still have an option, an alternative, and you can select the option abstention. So this is the only one you need to be aware of, that you must select between two different or similar alternatives. So again, same as before, let's make some voting on it. Suppose it has again nothing to do with my personal preference. This is just for the testing purposes. Now my ballot is complete, and I can click on Go to Statutes to go from the competition rules to the last tab, which is dedicated to the statutes. Clicking on it, I will come to the Statutes e-ballot, to the third tab, highlighted, and here you will see in total 8 changes of the statutes. All of them has been proposed by the board. Therefore, there is a prefix mentioned here standing for board statutes. Change number 1 to 8. And again, same story. You will pick the option, you will tick the option, and then you will click on Cast your e-ballot. After hitting Cast your e-ballot, the elections for you are done. Right after casting the e-ballot, the website will send you a confirmation email, automatic confirmation email, confirming that you have carried out successfully the electronic voting or electronic elections, and that you cast the e-ballot properly. So I think that this kind of process is quite clear, very straightforward, and there is nothing technically complicated on it. It's also important to be mentioned that these e-ballots are being stored into the database of the website. FIPS-Mouche board members do not have an access to, only of course the technical administrator of the website. And these results are becoming actually inaccessible for no one. And first, these data will be shown and presented when the elections will be carried out during the General Assembly of FIPS-Mouche. The head of elective committee will be showing on the screen the website, and based on his activation of some toggle on the website, there will be a list of countries who carried out the elections. This list of the countries will be shown on the screen that will be projected on the wall. So, without any details of the voting, it will be displayed only the list of the countries who took part or that took part at the electronic voting and elections via the website. Why this list must be displayed on the screen? This is because to avoid a duplicity of the elections that will be carried out in person during the General Assembly. So suppose there could be a federation who cast its vote electronically and also has sent the delegate to be present at the General Assembly, and the person would cast physically also the vote during the elections. Why? While General Assembly. That would be a duplicity. So to avoid this duplicity, this list will be shown on the screen, and it means that these delegates from the listed countries may not take part at the voting or at the elections physically during the General Assembly. So that's the first important remark. The second important remark is right after the list is displayed, there will be elections and voting carried out by elective committee, dedicated elective committee. And as soon as the last ballot was cast, then the committee will be calculating the ballots, and the head of the committee again can activate on the website displaying of the electronic voting and elections from the website. It will be displayed transparently to everyone, of course in anonymous way, only the total numbers for each alternative and for each item. Then these figures will be put together with the paper ballots. They will be counting together, and at the end of this process, when both these groups of the ballots, e-ballots and paper ballots, will be counted together, then the results of the elections and of the voting will be displayed and presented and confirmed as the final. So I hope that this process makes sense, and I'm pretty sure that we can make it happen without any substantial difficulties, and I do hope that it will be seamlessly running. So we are providing to you an alternative how you can take part in the voting and election also remotely. So please consider all of your, so please first run internally the technical discussions about all documents that has been published in relation to the board proposals or federation motions. Just in case you are not aware where to find these documents, so when you go to the Congresses, clicking on the menu item Congresses, when you scroll down and select the year 2025, you can see the header of the Congress, and here there are the columns with the documents that has been provided and prepared. In the first column here, motions, competition rules, there are the 3 motions from the 3 different federations. First one is from the Czech Republic, second one from the Slovak Republic, and the third one from France. In the column named board motions, there are in total 5 documents. First one is color highlighted changes of the competition rules that board is submitting for approval in the form of the competition rules document. The second one is board motion competition rules rationals, which is an supporting document where all these changes are being listed, and for each change proposed there is a rationals associated where we are describing our intention and reason why we are coming with this proposal. The third document is board motion statutes, which is the same as board motion competition rules, because for this Congress only FIPS-Mouche board is going to submit some changes of the statutes. And the fourth document is board motion rationals statutes, which is again a supportive document describing our intention and reason why we are coming up with these proposals. And the last one, board recommend CR, it's actually the recommendation of the board if the proposal from the Federation member should be accepted or rejected. And concerning the elections, you can see here in this column the list of the candidacies of the candidates who are going to be elected or who are candidating for certain position. Okay, so please, I would like to pay your attention to all these documents. Run internally your technical discussions with your technically involved and experienced guys, in order you can, in case you will be carrying out the elections and voting remotely, in order you can accordingly cast your vote. And so in total, and so in order we all can improve our competition rules and statutes for the future, reasonable way. So thank you very much. I hope it will be easy for all of you and that we will be able to manage a combination of the e-voting and e-elections together with the classical physical process of the elections and voting during the General Assembly in Slovenia. Good luck to everyone.